ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh. Are you guys ready? Welcome back to the final countdown. Is that not hot or what? I could do that all day long, man. I am telling you. Let me set this bad boy down. Yeah, that was my little Hamer USA cracking up some tunes. You guys, how are ya? It's been a couple days, I think, right? We can do another video if we want to, right? Guess who's back? Yeah, it's Mr. Gray. He missed you guys. Just a little bit. A little bit. Oh, wow. There's stuff flying around YouTube, man. Got VCLTs flying out everywhere. Got people making live streams and videos. And man, Lisa. You guys know Lisa? Chris, I think she was on there for like 3 hours last night, man. Just talking about whatever there was to talk about. I don't know, man. Pretty awesome. So yeah, I spent a little bit last night coasting around, talking to people on YouTube and checking out Metal Mickey's stuff and anybody who was on there, you know what I'm saying? All them guys. What are we gonna do today on the Vinyl Countdown? I have no flipping idea. I didn't plan nothing. All I did was I walked over to the rack of records and I grabbed a stack of you-know-what 80s stuff. That's right. Everybody knows Peaches for the 80s, man. So I grabbed a good stack of stuff from the 80s here. And I want to just simply go through it with you. All right? If I see something I want to talk about, I'll talk about it. If not, we'll just set it aside and that'll be that. All right? But man, there is nothing like the 80s. Whenever somebody talks about it, like I said, I was on that chat watching Lisa talk last night, and all of a sudden, here it comes, the 80s. And the smile on her face just went from ear to ear, man. We started talking about Duran Duran and all them other bands that led up into the 90s and stuff. The Pet Shop Boys, stuff like that. There's just so many of them I can hardly think of them right now. So yeah, let's go through a little bit of my 80s schmeedy stuff and maybe you guys don't know about any of this, or maybe you do know about it, but man, it's some of that stuff that all of us grew up with. If we grew up in the 80s, it was right there for us the whole time. So without further ado, let's get on with this episode of the Vinyl Countdown where we know absolutely nothing about what we're going to do today. All right. Here's the first one. I think I pulled this out for a little specialty deal on one of my other episodes. You remember her? Paula Abdul, man. Paula Abdul. She was so awesome, you guys. Remember she was on American Idol? She had a ton of hits on this record. Layton. There's the list, man. Paula Abdul. It was all about that, look at me, I'm a party in a box kind of thing. And I told you guys about that on another episode when we went through some 80s stuff. Yeah, look at me. I'm in the 80s. I got cool hair. I got cool clothes. I got cool hoopy earrings. And I'm a party in a box. Come and join me. We'll have some fun. That was what the 80s was all about, man. And you could just keep going down the list. Oh, yeah. Here's another one from the 80s. Remember Apollonia? Apollonia from the movie Purple Rain. She was an actress, singer. She came up with another group called Apollonia 6. Yeah. So there's one of her albums. And here's another one of her albums. Apollonia. Definitely. She was a big part of the 80s, man. There was nobody in town that didn't know who Apollonia was. Yeah, she was on the news the other day. She tried to sneak into the White House in a fruit basket and they caught her. Ha! Anyways. Yeah, here's that song, Sex Shooter from Apollonia, from the movie Purple Rain. Yup, this was part of the soundtrack of that movie. Definitely. You guys check out that song once. It's nothing to write home about, but it's still, oh my gosh, you guys. This one, we have to chill here a little bit, okay? Air Supply's greatest hits. Do you guys remember that group Air Supply? I'm telling you, yeah, you can't leave home without it. These guys are the ones that had the cool love songs and the dance songs. Whenever you'd go out with your chickie to the bar or whatever, or out to a dance, Air Supply had some great, great tunes. I think they had that one called Out of Nothing at All. I'm all out of love and so lost without you. Yeah, not Motley Crue, but man, Air Supply, some of the biggest badasses of the 1980s. I wanted to show you guys with that hype sticker on there, because that's how I do it. That's how Peaches rolls. Air Supply. Anybody that likes that softer side of rock, like Chicago 17. If you know Chicago 17, Air Supply is another one you're going to want to pick up, you guys, all right? Definitely. Yes, definitely. Take a shot. I hope you guys are drinking. Yeah, here's that one I showed you. It's the guys from Duran Duran went out and made another album. Okay? They don't call it Duran Duran, though. This one says So Red. Heroes. Yeah. Check that one out. It's Duran Duran, but slowed down a little bit, okay? That's all you got to think about. Duran Duran, on the average, slowed down a little bit darker, okay, than Duran Duran. We were just talking about it. Lisa was on that thing talking about Duran Duran last night and how much she loves them. She was born in the mid 80s or whatever, so yeah, she wasn't even around to enjoy it for the first time, but she likes it now. Definitely. You guys, Rick Astley. Oh my God. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and hurt you. Yeah. This guy, everybody makes fun of him, but you know what? He's iconic. He just went out, I believe, I could be wrong, he just went on stage for the Foo Fighters. Yeah, I think he went out and opened up for the Foo Fighters very recently. I don't know if it was out in Cali or what, but yeah, Rick Astley, man, still kicking it, saying some of his one-hit wonders out on stage today. Rick Astley. Yeah. You want to talk about a guy that gets made fun of? He's like, gets made fun of as much as Pee Wee Herman, I think. I told you guys it was awesome. Here's another one. You guys remember Bad Company? I love this one. This is kind of like a Bad Company compilation of all kinds of their tunes. Check out the song list, buddy. Definitely. Bad Company. Been around the block forever. They were around the 70s and 80s. Good tune. But this one's called 10 from 6. Okay? Very good. If you guys like Bad Company, it's good to go out and get like a greatest hits thing. You know what I'm saying? It'll save you a lot of time on putting records on and off. I'll tell you that right now. Here's another one we've been talking about recently. I just sent this out for VCLT to Monkey's Paw. She just got it yesterday. I don't know if she's going to make a video or not, but yeah. There you go, Monkey's Paw. You're welcome. She was totally wanting this Bangles. This is the one that's got Manic Monday. Excuse me. And Walk Like an Egyptian. Yeah, the Bangles. Big staple of the 80s. Roller skating rinks and all that. Oh, dude, you guys, I got to get my go-go juice. Oh, this one. How you doing, Mr. Gray? You wore one of my hats today. Yeah, still not quite over that cold yet. Gotta have some go-go juice, you guys. All right, let's keep flying. 80s pop is the thing, man. I grew up on it. And you guys, it's so awesome to go reminisce on this stuff. You know, some of them might not be worth the albums, but you know what? You can get them for $2 or $3 too. So it's not something you need to shy away from because of that. Yeah. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Yeah, Tony Basil. Yeah, roller skating, one of the top roller skating songs of all time. One of the top 5. Tony Basil. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You guys have got to remember that song. And here's another one, you guys. This chick is responsible for it all. She is the one that paved the way for women in the 1980s. I'm talking coming out of the 70s into the 80s. She was first in line on MTV, first in line at the radio stations, first in line on stage. And she is amazing. And her name is Pat Benatar. If you don't know who Pat Benatar is, you need some schooling, okay? She is awesome. Most definitely awesome. I don't have my looking glass. Fire and Ice. She had that song, something about babies. Yeah, it was really controversial back in the early 80s. Something about babies. It was real nasty title. I think it might be on here. I'm not sure. But yeah, check out Pat Benatar a little bit. I don't mean to seem uneducated, man, but I just suddenly lost my looking glass. Oh, well. Pat Benatar. Unbelievably famous. Mrs. Peaches showed this one on her Vinyl Tag 2018. It was Best Posthumous Album category. And she showed this David Bowie, man. This is a really cool re-release, very recent, of David Bowie. There's a lot of people in the VC that got a lot of love for David Bowie, man. What is the... Oh, this is the hype sticker. Hype sticker off of David Bowie. We can't lose that, you guys. Definitely. David Bowie. What do you say about this, man? I'm telling you, my favorite song is Let's Dance. That song is so smooth and cool, and get out on the dance floor and just, you know, that's when you want to say, hi, chickie, you want to dance with me? Good start. David Bowie, yeah, my favorite song, Let's Dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Here's another one now. Jackson Browne. This must be Mrs. Peaches. Lawyers in Love. Okay, now I remember that song. Lawyers in Love from Jackson Browne, man. A big hit from the 80s. And like I said, you can go back to the 80s, and a lot of these bands were one-hit wonders. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to kind of get used to the deep grooves on some of this 80 pop stuff. You know what I'm saying? Here is one that I know absolutely nothing about. I don't know if it's rare. I don't know if it's worth a lot of money. It might be worth $1. I don't know. But I have no idea who these guys are. You ever heard of Broken Homes? Straight Line Through Time. I found this in that big stack I got. It had Lies and Anthrax, or Guns N' Roses Lies and Anthrax and all that stuff. Yeah. And Poison, I got another copy of Poison, and this was in the pile. Do you guys know these guys? At all? There's the song list. If you want to pause it. Yeah. I put it on. It's kind of, it's just 80s straightforward pop. Pretty much. Kind of just a middle of the road thing. Maybe that's why they didn't get noticed too much, because it was middle of the road. It wasn't anything that stood out a lot. Remember, here she is, you guys. Belinda Carlisle. Is that she? Did she do that song? Or was it Debbie Gibson? Must have been love, but it's over now. Oh, heaven. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Yeah, big hit in the 80s from Belinda Carlisle, you guys. Still in the shrink? Hype sticker, buddy. Don't see these Belinda Carlisles out in the wild very much at all. This was the first and only time out in the wild we got this one, you guys. Definitely. I love that song, though, man. You don't have to be a metalhead all the time. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? I used to hear that all the time. Oh, do you guys remember these guys? Cameo, Word Up. Do you remember that song? Word Up, ow. Around the world, I'm man. I don't know the words anymore. Word Up, ow, ow. Yeah, that's them guys. I almost thought it was DeBarge at first, but it's that group called Cameo from the 80s. Cameo, DeBarge, whatever. Oh, iconic tunes, you guys. These guys are worth an episode all by themselves. I share a love for these guys. Lisa we were just talking to Lisa about it last night. The Cars. She goes, oh, I love the 80s. And the first thing I said was the Cars. You can't go wrong. She's a California girl. You know what I'm saying? Great conversation last night. I keep bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? But the Cars. How many hits did they have? They're worth an episode all by themselves. They have a box set that's out that Vinyl Victim has, and I'm telling you guys, that box set just rocks. Rocks. I think it's got all their albums in it. Definitely. What do we have here? Oh, here's another Cars album. Like I said, I just pulled this out, you guys. There's no rehearsal here. The Cars. I don't really know if I need to explain this to you guys. The Cars. Here's one thing I would like to share about the Cars, and that is how unique their sound was. There was nobody out there doing what the Cars were. It's like you would have thought they would have started out as a bebopping band from the 50s or the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like they have that weird sock hop type purity to them. And then they modernized the sock hop attitude about things and became what they are. And their sound is just amazing. It's like, go to car shows and listen to these guys. It's not just because of the name, it's because of the genre that they created. They make me want to go to a drive-in and have a root beer and a burger and fries where they put that, that tray that they put on your window? Yeah. For some reason, when I hear these guys, I keep thinking about that. And like I said, it has nothing to do with the Cars name. They're just drive-in root beer stand type guys, you know what I'm saying? And pure summertime. Not when it's too hot, not when it's too cold. When you can go out and have fun in the summer and cruise around in your car and listen to the Cars. Oh, and everybody has this. If you guys don't have this album, it is a prerequisite for the 80s. It is a prerequisite. I can't even tell if it's upside down right now. The Cars, man. This one's in pretty primo shape. Definitely. Everybody says that you should have this album, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna disagree with them. This is unbelievable stuff, you guys. One of the biggest bands of the 1980s. Flat out. Oh, here's one. Do you remember this one from Cher? This is probably my favorite album from Cher. This one that's got Jesse James on it. You come walking into town like a sling in a gun. Just a small town dude with a big city attitude. Oh yeah, you met your match tonight. Well, that's right. Yeah. Is there something else on here? Yeah, this has got a couple of really good songs by Cher, man. If you don't have this Cher album, you're missing out big time. This is when Cher kind of had a little bit of a comeback into the 80s scene, and she came back and did it. She did. But I love that song, Jesse James, off of there. Oh, and you guys, I am telling you, this is really sentimental to me. Chicago 17. This is one of the ones that my relatives had copies of this at their house, but I didn't have it at my house. But when I was at their house, we would listen to this, okay? It was Foreigner and Chicago 17 and the Go-Go's and all that stuff. And I am telling you, this Chicago album with Peter Cetera cannot be topped. It cannot be topped. It is an essential part of the 80s, man. This has more prom songs on it than I can count. Yeah, high school prom songs from the 80s, man. Especially the earlier 80s. Chicago 17 is a must-have. Must-have, you guys. You know, if I were to describe... If you guys don't know Chicago, it's a fuller band. They got horns and stuff and guitars and synthesizers, and it's a much bigger setup than most bands. And they get a real big full sound out of it. And it's kind of a lighter, rockier end of pop. Okay, it's not bright and sassy like Madonna, but it's not really heavy like Robert Palmer. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a soft rock, I would call it. Yep. Huh. And who can forget about this guy? Speaking of heavy hitters, Phil Collins, an 80s icon, you guys. Yeah. Studio. Yup. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. They still play it on the radio every day. He's one of these guys that made the list of songs that will never come off the radio. Phil Collins. What can I say? I get an itch for him every once in a while, and he is an essential part of the 80s, and he does have a spot in my record cabinet. I'll tell you that right now. Here's another one. You know, this wasn't something I picked up a long time ago, but here it is. Here's another Phil Collins. Yep. Major staple of the 80s. You and Me and Another Day in Paradise is on here, I know it. It's just another day in paradise. Oh man. All of these 80s guys. The memories come flying back. Oh, you want to talk about the other side of the earth? Culture Club. You guys pick up any of these records. They are just 80s icons. Culture Club, man. This guy was like the first cross-dresser on the planet, I think. But boy, we didn't care. We didn't care. The 80s were so full of discovery that we didn't mind what you were doing. We were like, oh, you're new. You're different. Come on in. Let's see what you got. You know, anywhere from Motley Crue to Bon Jovi to Culture Club to Madonna. Oh, what are you doing? Come on in. Let's take a listen. We weren't like the people these days. Freaking snobs. Oh my God. It's got to be, this is like Black Death overkill metal that is from... I can't do it. I can't do it, you guys. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, oh, did you hear about that new metal genre? It's called resurrection metal. It's death metal that died and came back to life again. Whatever, man. Whatever. You know, I'm not ripping on you guys. I'm just ripping on the idea that there's all these genres that don't seem to make any sense. Because as far as I'm concerned, and most everybody that grew up in the 80s, metal was in one section. One section, you guys. And there were not all these categories of metal. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And it brings up an interesting question, because when we thought metal was all in one category, it didn't have, there was nothing else, right? But now when they started making all these categories of metal, for me, they can put all these names on this metal stuff, but all it is to me when I look at it is it goes from thrash or heavy metal, which I was used to, and then it suddenly goes into this thing called thrash, which was Metallica, Megadeth, you know, the big four. For metal. You know what I'm saying? So you had Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax were the big four. I can't stand any of them but Metallica. Metallica is very, very awesome, and I think they are the ones that are responsible for inventing thrash metal. And syncopation. They used syncopation. They were the first band to ever use that awesome syncopation on the offbeat. They played their music on the offbeat, the upbeat, I guess you could say a lot, and it switched all the time. You know, tat 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 and tat 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 tat. You know, and they would bring it on the upbeat all the time. So yeah, I think they were the inventors of thrash. But then as far as what I can see, you guys, and I don't have the education, and I asked a couple of guys last night on the vinyl community, please, can you make me a video that tells me about thrash metal and death metal and doom metal and all of this stuff, because I don't understand the difference. For me, all it seems like they did when it was the late 80s and going into 1990, they started making up these genres, okay? And all it looks like to me is that these genres, it was just a slow, steady stream into a little bit heavier, a little bit darker, a little bit heavier, a little bit darker, a little bit heavier, a little bit darker, and it just kept going down the line to where these guys were just in one big giant competition to see who could be the most screwed up, okay? So, or dark, or yell, or scream, or whatever, you know, you just, I can't understand what the hell they're saying, okay? I don't know, but I want to know where the cutoffs are. What makes these genres different from each other? Because I want to know how far down this rabbit hole I can go. Because I'm interested in learning a little bit more about this stuff, okay? Because, you know, thrash metal, like I said, I only really like Metallica, to be honest with you. I have a bunch of the other guys in here. I have Megadeth albums. I have originals that are in mint condition, you know? So, the thing of it is I don't understand where it goes from there. I would like to get into this a little bit more. Like I said, I love Five Finger Death Punch and Disturbed, and I think they're calling this stuff new metal, okay? As far as I know. But I want to go down another avenue like Disturbed or like Five Finger Death Punch. But the thing of it is I can't stand it when the voices start getting to where they're pretending they're demons. I don't like that. So somebody, please make a video or tell me where I can go from here with metal, where I can enjoy it, but yet I want to hear somebody sing. I want to hear somebody sing like Five Finger Death Punch and Disturbed. The Five Finger Death Punch guy, he goes down to about the maximum I can take, but he's still a great singer. There's a vocal quality there. So somebody help me out, okay? Peaches needs to know. All right, you guys? All right, well, I had a good time on this episode today. We're going to keep going through a lot of the 80s stuff, all right? And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And Mr. Gray says hi again. He wants to come back again, so say goodbye to Mr. Gray. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.